going on. One is that Trump indicated today that this might be more of a bargaining chip than some kind of a permanent thing, and that's relieved a lot of fears that he's determined to do this. The other thing is that there are people who are beginning to look at the fundamentals here and say there really is a lot more power on the opposition side than on the pro-tariff side. Just Mr. Trump is hard to figure. He's kind of a mercurial guy, and I don't think he reverses himself too readily. But the tweet he made today, the comments he made today, gives him a way out, and he's going to come under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Statistic that really strikes me is there's about 140,000 people employed in the steel industry. Steel using industry, conservatively, 7 million. And that's a lot of power when the lobbying goes to Washington.
Yeah.
Not that any of us are mind readers, especially when it comes to President Trump, but do we think that his comments were made in reaction to the big market sell-off and how companies have reacted or had reacted last week to his initial announcement?
Well, I can't read his mind either, and he certainly doesn't confide in me, but that's a plausible interpretation of why he decided to do that today.
And the bargaining chip idea here, do you think that's one that's wise to ultimately get to what President Trump wants and what might be better for the overall economy? What is the overall sentiment of whether or not this NAFTA agreement should still be in place?
Well, it's a question of what kind of deal he gets from NAFTA. I think the market, industry, business in America wants NAFTA. They want him to negotiate some kind of a trade deal. They'd like it to be favorable to us, but they want some kind of a trade deal. And I think people are coming to the conclusion that this thing was pretty old and these things need updating. That's not to support Trump or be against Trump. And I think he's using this as a bargaining chip. When Bush put on steel tariffs back in '02, he excluded the Canadians. And this is aimed at the Canadians.